we are. Pleasure to be with you. Good to see there's so many people interested in tin. As we've just been hearing about copper, it's always worth to point out that if you have copper in your portfolio and you don't have tin, I would encourage you to have a good look. Copper is fantastic at moving electrons in long distances across wires. Tin is fantastic when it comes down to decision-making logic. The main use of tin is solder. Electrical solder is the glue that holds together all electronic circuits. So effectively, if you believe in the electrification story, if you think we're moving to more batteries, more automation, then tin should definitely be a consideration in your portfolio. And to be honest, there's only 2 listed producers in the world of any significant size, one of which is Metals X, which you'll see has just entered our register at 20%. So, you know, if you go off the theory of follow where the educated and smart money goes, then please come have a look at Elementos. So as background, we have 2 tin development projects. We are probably one of only 2 companies in the world that has 2, and there's probably only 10 tin developers on any of the listed exchanges. Our major flagship asset is the Oropesa tin project in the south of Spain. Critically, we are in the Andalusian region. This is the major mining region of Spain. Sandfire Resources have one of the largest copper mines there, as well as Grupo Mexico, one of the biggest copper miners in the world, First Quantum and other majors. So the big boys are mining there, and certainly the political and mining climate is very supportive. We've just published our DFS in April this year. Following that, we had the investment from Metals X. So again, we've hit some major milestones that have convinced guys very educated in this market it's time to come in and join the Elementos story. And it's fair to say we have attracted the interest of a lot of other significant strategics who currently we are having discussions with and have hosted a number on site visits within the last month. So the pain of the last couple of years, which has been referenced by the last speaker, is real. But certainly when you've finally got across your major milestones and to see the interest coming into the space is absolutely fantastic. Our other asset is the old Cleveland tin mine in the northwest of Tasmania. For those that know Tassie at all or know tin, the northwest of Tasmania has a huge tin heritage, and the Cleveland tin mine operated for about 40 years and supplied tin to the Allies in both the First and Second World War. We have that. There's still a very large mineral resource there, as well as a very interesting tungsten deposit below. We have 4 million tonnes of that resource, as well as having a 16 to 24 million tonne exploration target, of which we released 600 metres of intercepts from a single hole last year into that, as well as discovering it's not just tungsten, it's got rubidium, molybdenum, bismuth, and fluorite. Sorry, shouldn't forget that. So pretty much half the critical minerals list in that asset alone. So moving on, why should you consider Elementos? 35 million market cap. We just published our DFS using the tin price overnight out of London. That puts our single asset NPV in Spain at 410 million Australian dollars. We also have the Cleveland tin mine, as I said, which is an earlier stage of redevelopment. And it's fair to say Metals X has come onto our register. So again, only 2 listed producers in the world. All the other tin producers are basically in China, Myanmar, Indonesia, DRC, Bolivia, and other parts of Central Africa. Really, there is a limited reliability and responsibility in the supply chain of tin, and we have major interest from off-takers looking to invest into projects in more secure and reliable locations. Tin price, here we are. For nearly 2 years, we've been sitting above $30,000. This is very significant. Historically, tin has been one of those very volatile commodities, but certainly as demand increases for electrification, as well as supply shock after supply shock after supply shock, no surprise when you heard the list of countries I listed that tin's coming from, has given a lot of support to the tin price. Critically for us, Europe and North America, Canada, Mexico, none of them have any tin mines, and there's very limited smelting, most of that from secondary recycled sources. Currently, Europe imports 83% of its tin needs, with the other percentage coming from recycling. We will, and our project in Spain goes into operation, be producing 10% of Europe's tin. And we have a mine to metal strategy there, which means we actually have an option over a smelter. So we will be the only party in the world mining and smelting within Europe and supplying into the European market. Why that is interesting, European market has $1,000 US price premium for metal deliveries. which fully covers the smelting cost for us of smelting within Europe. So that's because all the smelting of tin around the world is based in Asia, and basically European and North America buyers have to pay between $1,000 to $2,000 in addition to the London Metals Exchange price just to get deliveries. So for us to have a project in Europe and be able to smelt in Europe means we effectively smelt for free and get to deliver into that market. So the economics stack up very nicely for us. We do have a second smelting option in addition to the smelt we have the option over, and that is a very large mining company called Freeport-McMoran, sixth biggest mining company in the world, has just given us €100,000 to do some test work on some low-grade tin and reject streams. They're building a very large e-waste smelter down on the coast next to their copper smelter. They've been given €360 million from the European Union to do that, and because of that, they're very keen to put some tin concentrate in there as well. So we're working with them as well as our other smelting partner. In terms of where we're at, I'm not going to talk about geology or geophysics or any of these things that you need a great explanation of. We have a resource of 19.6 million tonnes. We have a maiden ore reserve of 15.9 million tonnes. That's what underwrote our definitive feasibility study, and that's what underwrote the economics that I'll show you soon. In terms of responsibility, producing a mine in the European Union has to be the highest standards of environmental regulation. We have met them. We've put all our primary licenses into the administration, and following my meetings in Spain a couple of weeks ago, we're very confident we've got across the hard yards in Spain, and we'll soon have some very positive news flow in the back half of this year regarding our permitting. In terms of the economics, 270 million MPV at the $30,000 tin price, which I said has been stable for at least 2 years. We produce tin for $15,000 all in sustaining cost. That is against the $34,000 tin price currently right now. So the margins are easily recognised. Very responsible mine there. If anyone wants to come see me to see the animation or any other details behind this DFS, I've got volumes and volumes of data, and my booth is just behind the back wall of this auditorium. In terms of the DFS numbers, as you'll see, using the spot price from overnight, we're actually 410 million MPV on a 270 base of our DFS study. Current market cap, $35 million. I don't expect it to stay there. Obviously, we can't predict the future, but certainly we're talking to some very interested and sophisticated parties interested in securing tin metal within Europe. Getting on to Cleveland, and I'll run through this pretty quickly in the last minute, but effectively this is the old Cleveland tin mine. As I said, we already have resource 7.5 million tonnes of tin with some copper byproducts. The mine, again, it is a historic mine, so I reflect the comments from previous speakers. Historic mines have been proven, and this mine has previously produced tin concentrate and copper concentrate, and certainly there's a lot of it left. In addition to that, we have this very large ore body, porphyry style tungsten ore body again, and as Chris Brown referenced, tungsten is certainly a commodity you want to be in, as is tin. So certainly we're very happy with this as our growth project as a company, and our focus is in Spain. Our focus is getting into cash flow, getting this thing built into cash flow. This is certainly a nice asset to develop next, and certainly happy and looking forward to having it as a critical part of our portfolio moving forward. These are the key numbers. It's a little bit of a interesting ore body, but I've highlighted the tin and copper resources. It is an old mine. We've got 300 metres of decline, which can fit modern equipment. It's very good geotech. So basically the way forward there will be to dewater it, rehab it, and then start using that. Critically, that decline goes all the way into the top of that tungsten ore body. So for us, we're going to finish the resourcing here, do some met work, do some geotech work, run a scoping study, get an MPV against this, and then decide, are we going to go into the tungsten first or go into the tin copper first? But either way, combine these two ore bodies will come together to form a very compelling life of mine plan. These are just some results from our drilling we did last year, which show we hit interesting tin and copper outside the known resource. We also hit some interesting tungsten outside, and then you get down into all those critical minerals that I spoke of. But very quickly, this is our board. We've got the two Metals X members that have joined our board, so currently 6-member board, very experienced. I'd like to highlight my chairman, Andy Gregg, who ran Bechtel's Metal and Mining Division for 35 years. He remains a 17% shareholder and very supportive. There's our market cap, and there's our very tight structure of shareholders. But any more information, please come and see me at the booth. That's me, and have a chat. Thank you very much, everybody.